Good evening. This is Friday, September 12th, 53 days until the 2008 presidential election. We are keeping a close watch on the impending landfall of Hurricane Ike, though it is not likely to make significant news for another 90 minutes or 2 hours. We will update you from the scene and from the weather computers throughout. We will start, however, with our fifth story in the countdown, the aftermath of the first Palin interviews. Since any analogy that does not compare her to Madame Curie will be exploited by the McCain campaign as sexist, the safest comparison is probably one to one of those Sarah Palin dolls already available on the internet. A talking model with a pull string that allows it to say as many as 10 different phrases over and over and over again. If you have not seen any part of Governor Palin's interviews with ABC News and find yourself asking, were they really that bad? She did not know what interviewer Charles Gibson meant when he calmly asked if she believed in the Bush doctrine. Didn't get it the second time either, and pressed 3 times about supporting an Israeli strike against Iran nukes. She simply reworded the same answer, which was predicated on repeating that she couldn't second guess, second guess, second guess. In the most recent installment, airing earlier tonight on ABC, Governor Palin both lying by insisting she opposed the bridge to nowhere, then, when Charlie Gibson would not let her get away with that, trying to claim that earmark abuse by her was okay because she claimed she sought the money openly and because she only received the money. The evil Congress in Washington did the granting of it, Charlie.
And Charlie, we killed the bridge to nowhere, and that's the bottom line.
You said you now agree with John McCain that earmark should be eliminated. The state of Alaska governor this year requested $3.2 million for researching the genetics of harbor seals, money to study the mating habits of crabs. Isn't that exactly the kind of thing that John McCain is objecting to?
Those requests through our research divisions in Fish and Game and our wildlife departments and our university, those research requests did come through that system. But wanting it to be in the light of day, not behind closed doors with lobbyists making deals with Congress to stick things in there under the public radar, that's the abuse that we're going to stop.
She lied about the bridge again. Another $100 to charity and another 25 fictional cans of Aunt Sarah's moose chunk stew to some lucky viewer. At no point did it seem more apparent that Governor Palin does not have the chops to be vice president, let alone president, than when it seemed as if she had never before heard the term Bush doctrine.
Do you agree with the Bush doctrine?
In what respect, Charlie?
The Bush, well, what do you interpret it to be?
His worldview?
No, the Bush doctrine enunciated September 2002, before the Iraq War.
I believe that what President Bush has attempted to do is rid this world of Islamic extremism, terrorists who are hell-bent on destroying our nation. There have been blunders along the way, though. There have been mistakes made. And with new leadership, and that's the beauty of American elections, of course, and democracy, is with new leadership comes opportunity to do things better.
The Bush doctrine, as I understand it, is that we have the right of anticipatory self-defense, that we have the right to a preemptive strike against any other country that we think is going to attack us. Do you agree with that?
I agree that a president's job, when they swear in their oath to uphold our Constitution, their top priority is to defend the United States of America.
Bush doctrine, Monroe doctrine, Truman Show. Could James Monroe eyeball Russia from his home state of Virginia? Could the show me state show Harry Truman Joseph Stalin's backyard? Gibson asking, what insight into Russian actions, particularly in the last couple of weeks, does the proximity of the state give you? Governor answered, they're our next-door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska. I can see right into the headquarters of Chase Bank from my office, so on the Sarah Palin scale, that makes me Alan Greenspan. Would it surprise you that Governor Palin sees war with Russia as a distinct possibility as a direct result of giving Georgia NATO membership, which she advocates? Mr. Gibson asking, under the NATO treaty, wouldn't we then have to go to war if Russia went into Georgia? The governor saying, perhaps so. That is the agreement when you are a NATO ally, is if another country is attacked, you are going to be expected to be called upon and help. Clearly struggling with foreign policy in general, Governor Palin specifically contradicting the Pakistan policy of her own running mate. Gibson asked, do we have the right, in your mind, to go across the border with or without the approval of the Pakistani government? She answered, in order to stop Islamic extremists, those terrorists who would seek to destroy America and our allies, we must do whatever it takes, and we must not blink, Charlie, in making those tough decisions of where we go and even who we target. Senator McCain having said this summer about Pakistan, and I'm quoting, I'm not going to go there, and here's why, because Pakistan is a sovereign nation. Maybe the proverb is true, travel really does broaden the mind. Gibson asking, did you ever travel outside the country prior to your trip to Kuwait and Germany last year? Her answer, Canada, Mexico, and then that trip was a trip of a lifetime to visit troops in Kuwait and stop and visit injured soldiers in Germany. That was a trip of a lifetime, and it changed my life. Indeed, it was the trip of her lifetime. In fact, it was the only trip of her lifetime outside North America, which would make it hard to meet foreign heads of state. Gibson asking, have you ever met a foreign head of state? Palin said, I have not, and I think if you go back in history and if you ask that question of many vice presidents, they may have the same answer that I just gave you. In fact, every vice president in the last 32 years and every living vice president has met a foreign head of state before taking office. More lying or simply not knowing. Gibson asked, have you ever given any kind of command decision to the Alaska National Guard? Palin answered, we have called up National Guardsmen to help in other states who have gone in emergency status. We have assisted there. False. Governor Palin has never issued an order to the Alaska National Guard. Know what else she has not done to our knowledge? Properly pronounce the word nuclear.
I believe that under the leadership of Ahmadinejad, nuclear weapons in the hands of his government are extremely dangerous to everyone on this globe, yes. We cannot just concede that, oh gee, maybe they're going to have nuclear weapons, what can we do about it? No way.
Is it too much to ask that the next chief executive of this country and his assistant know how to pronounce the word nuclear, both of them? After 8 years, don't we all deserve that much? In one respect, however, there is universal agreement that the governor did well. A media coach's instruction for politician, for sportscaster, for snake oil salesman alike. It is always this: say your interviewer's name as often as possible.
President of the United States of America.
I do, Charlie.
All about Charlie. God-given Charlie. From God, Charlie.
This table, Charlie. And Charlie, in what respect, Charlie? To Charlie. Charlie, blink, Charlie.
Really?
But Charlie again.